John, you've said that traditional fibro houses are synonymous with our seaside wilderness memories, and as these houses were only secondary abodes, they were completely unpretentious and almost anti-style, in the contrast to the socially conscious city counterparts. I mean, this statement to me really evokes the true spirit of coastal design. So my question to you, where did we go wrong? How do we allow these McMansions to invade our coastlines?
Well, I think it sort of first started happening, say, in the 70s and maybe early 80s as the baby boomer generation became more wealthy. They travelled internationally, and you get such things as, I mean, for example, the Royal Hawaiian Resort came straight to Noosa in
the Sheraton,
the form of the Sheraton. You know, the Pink Palace comes to Australia, and this is what globalisation has done. And so as a result of this, we get Spanish style being imported. We get all these sorts of different styles. And then, for example, in my own spot up at the Sunshine Coast there on Sunshine Beach, there the styles come in, the international style, and then they dominate the dunar landscape. So if you're walking along the beach, these things overpower the visual amenity of the backdrop, the dunar backdrop. And so we've lost the simplicity of what these old beach houses were, where Australians used to throw off the pinstripe suit, put on the blue singlet, go to their little beach houses, and of course use the spaces differently. They left all their pretensions back in the city, and then you had this wonderful sort of evolution of the beach house design.
So does that mean you're still a fan, John, of designing with the simplicity and unpretentiousness of the Fibro Beach Shack? Is it possible now?
Most definitely, and I think what we've been doing over a series of decades is actually taking these elements and reinterpreting them quite sophisticatedly, and you can see that with a lot of, this is one of our projects here, where you can see that the elements or the spirit of the beach house is there, but by breaking up the house into courtyards and wings, you can see how the landscape can go, the natural landscape can go into the building. In this particular case, the beach house explores the idea of the blurring between the inside and outside, so that the outside spaces are in fact often bigger than the inside spaces, because that's where you spend most of your time. And then you can see a particular house has virtually 50% internal living and 50% external living.
So is that a choice that you make, or do you make that with the client? Because some people do want those big McMansions that we saw earlier.
Well, basically they want the big McMansions because really it becomes a social status symbol. You know, you walk along the beach, say, oh look at that, it's bigger than your neighbours, it's bigger and better, and so on. So it becomes this sort of idea of being a social symbol.
Let's have a look at one of your examples, and I believe this one is called the Dragon House. So if you can talk us through the Dragon House and how you came up with that concept.
Yeah, well, basically the Dragon House uses fundamentally the idea of the cliff and the crevice metaphor. You can see the driftwood and the rocks, the different coloured rocks, and this gets reinterpreted into the building with weathered concrete, and you can see the blueness of the lap pool, which sits on the leeward side of the house rather than cantilevering dominantly over the dune. And then, of course, being of concrete, raw coloured concrete, it tends to mature. The patina matures the same as the ecological succession of the botany and all the endemic plants there. So the whole thing just matures as a whole, rather than sort of screaming out at you.
Now, it's a beautiful home, but you say it does blend into its surroundings. But you also say that within the architectural fabric includes the vibrancy and muscle of heavy components juxtaposing the lungs of lightweight structure. What do you mean by that, John?
Well, one of the things is by using the concrete mixed with what we call lantern structures, which is like the driftwood metaphor, jammed in between the rocks. So you get this idea of the lungs breathing, the concrete being a muscular thing that sort of holds the whole building together. So you get this interesting contrast between two different tectonic types, lightweight, heavyweight, and the heavyweight stuff has the advantage of being thermally responsible for cold winters and so on. So you get this idea of being able to move through different nooks, different parts of the house during different times of the year, and it responds to different times of the year.
This is an interesting shot that we're seeing here, because the view of the beach is something that everybody wants, but in a sense here it's blocked off. How does this work?
Well, see, this is a bedroom, and this sort of brings up the other idea that these spaces are flex spaces. I mean, the bedroom is also a living space. So by having this heavy shuttered arrangement with individual sliding components within the shutter allows you to use that bedroom as a living space, not just a bedroom. So during the day you can cut off the view, because not all the time you want the big view of the ocean. So you can get different view vistas through varying apertures within the wall.
Let's have a look at your current project. As I mentioned earlier, Viridian at Noosa. It's already won numerous UDIA and Royal Australian Institute Architect Awards. It's not even complete yet.
That's correct.
Let's have a quick look at that.
So you can see here where the sort of tectonics or the patterning of the materials tends to mimic the landscape. It's a sort of geometric form of the landscape, and it's broken up. The actual buildings are broken up, and in this case they sit on stilts and they weave themselves. This is a medium density shot, and you can see how they sit on stilts and they sit within the treetops there. And this all came about because there was a huge outcry about the visual amenity as a backdrop to Noosa. And then you can see the nooks and the different little spaces that work off the living spaces, and the outside is sort of reinterpreted into the inside as a nice sort of timber series of finishes inside.
Great, thanks John.